Honorable Principal, teachers, parents, and my dear fellow students, a very good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum to you all. This afternoon is different indeed, and the vibes around tell a beautiful tale that's truly unforgettable. Dear audience, you will yourself discover as the colors of this event embellish us all together. We would like to welcome aboard our judge, Miss Aisha Tariq from the prep section. GCA team ventures to try out something unique and different. So in our pursuit of new ideas, we commence in the name of Allah and have accomplished online Kirat and Rap competitions of prep and seniors. How could the English Literary Society take a backseat? So we are here with online declamation for seniors, which would surely be followed by the prep students. Dear audience and listeners, we have gathered here today for the declamation contest that is going to be held between the students of the senior section. The format consists of a 2-minute speech by each contestant, and winners and participants will be awarded certificates for recognition. Ibrahim Khari and Abdul Salam shall be your hosts for the afternoon. It's our great pleasure and the first and foremost duty. On behalf of the entire fraternity at GC, we warmly welcome you all to this beautiful program. I assure you that this program shall be full of exuberance and excitement and will create some beautiful memories for us all. It is rightly said, days are not lost when memories are created. To begin the program, I would request Nibras Ahmed of 10S to recite some verses of Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah. It is now time for the participants to get ready with their speeches. Our first contestant is Mayer Riaz Malik of 9E.
Hello and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mayer and today my topic of speech is before Facebook I had a life. When internet was invented, everyone was excited and had so many things planned to do with it. After that came smartphones and with websites such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Now when I'm saying Facebook, I'm expressing generally and not just pointing out Facebook. Sure, people may say that Facebook provides knowledge and a platform where you can discover new things, but I'm not sure that people these days are using sites such as Facebook for learning and exploring. Before using Facebook, I heard such good things about it and was excited to use it. But when I started using it for a while, I felt I was not active enough or I was not interacting with people enough. Earlier, I used to attend family gatherings, mingle with people, but this social site made me feel like an anti-social person. I used to play sports regularly, do my favorite hobbies, and interact with friends and family. But when Facebook came into my life, it just consumed me and I was stuck inside it all day long. It was not healthy nor was it beneficial for me. Before social media, we had real relationships and friends, but now it does not feel like it while using these sites. This doesn't just happen to a few people, it happens to everyone, especially children. I stopped using these sites and started using the internet for the purpose it was built for so I could explore and learn new things. When I started adapting these habits, I really felt there was a difference. Although Facebook and other sites can be beneficial, but too much of it is bad for everyone involved. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.
Thank, we thank you for sharing your speech with us. So the next participant is Muhammad Wise of 90.
Assalamu alaikum. Teachers and fellow students, today the topic for my speech is sometimes the best accomplishment is to just keep quiet. Not all, but to some people, being quiet is an intimation or a sign of lack of confidence. People think that they are too hesitant to speak, but to other people, including me, it is a sign of intelligence. Intelligence, but how? Yeah, intelligence, as it is proved by the most intelligent man on earth. Most intelligent, sensible, brilliant, genius, bright, gifted, brainy, and knowledgeable, and the most wise man to walk on the face of the earth in the history of mankind, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not only verbally, but he was also abused physically, but he remained soft, firm, and seeing his compassionate nature, many non-Muslims accepted Islam. Entering into an unnecessary and unimportant extraneous argument, a person just wastes his energy and earns no virtues. Sometimes argument makes a person angry, and that follows with another argument which leads to a fight, thus causing rivalry between each other. In the case of country's ruler, it may lead to war. It may cause an enraged man losing his temper and hurting others. This all which I just described, can be avoided by just a simple act of being quiet. A person may lose an argument and cause a reduction in his arrogance in the sight of others, but never will he be deprived of his respect in the sight of his Lord, Allah. Thank you.
Your speech was a pleasure to listen to. Next, we have Umar Ahmed of 9W again.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody, my name is Umar Ahmed and I'm from class 9W. So this talk is about being happy every time and not being dejected by any harsh circumstances and rude behavior of others. We see that not being dejected is a blessing which is confined to specific people around us. Many individuals have no capability to cope with dejections and rejections, or they are introverts, so not feeling well in gatherings and parties. So as a result, they easily get hurt and the opponent gets a chance to rip off their smile. As we know our company better than anyone else, so have a keen look on your surroundings. Do you have a group of friends who are always happy and their approach is always positive? If not, then immediately change your company, as this can be a mighty step towards the journey of being always happy. And besides having miserable life, always think of happiness and gratitude. It will drive you crazy. Now we all have points in our lives where life becomes very difficult. There are times when everything goes wrong. How you choose to look at these times has everything to do with how you look at your life. If you learn to look at the good in your life, you will be able to have a good life than those who focus on the negative. I would like to end my speech with a quote that true happiness doesn't come from having money and multiple bank accounts. It's just a reflection of how grateful you are.
Thank you for participating so effectively. Next, we have Shahbaz Zadi of 90 again.
Hello everyone, this is Shahbaz Heri and I hope you're all keeping safe today. Today I wanted to talk about happiness and how it causes toxic people of your life to go crazy. I'm sure many of you are well aware of what toxic people are and what they mean. But for those who don't, they're those which act as if they're your friends. They're happy for you, but they're not. These are those people who don't want you to be happy. They're those who sabotage your happiness. Why, you might ask? Well, it's simple. It's not revenge, it's what they call fun. They get a kick out of it. They misguide you, misuse you, and they hide in the darkness like scrawny little monsters who attack you when you are at your lowest point. They don't want your happiness. They want you to experience pain. They want you to experience suffering. And when you achieve your goals, when you achieve happiness, their skin burns. They just can't handle it. It literally drives them crazy. So, it's best to take these toxic people and kick them out right from your front porch. But if you yourself like to get them angry and irritated and make the skin burn, then I advise you always be as happy as a because it will pay you someday. Thank you.
Thank you for providing us with such a delicate and beautiful declamation. Now I would like to call Hassan Zedi of 9S to deliver his speech.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum, my respected heads, teachers, and my fellow friends. My name is Hassan Zaidi, and today's topic of my speech is common sense is a flower that does not grow in everyone's garden. I totally agree with this statement. What we call common sense is a core of knowledge and wisdom that we think everyone should have. But in reality, common sense is not common. I believe that in neither meaning is common sense inherent, but it is learned by effort and through consciousness. Common sense is a broad term and its meaning can be different for different people. It indicates that someone did not respond or act in the average, standard, expected, or typical manner. It is a natural ability to make good judgments and to behave in a practical and sensible way. Let me tell you some of the examples of common sense. Number one, respecting seniors is a common sense, but it is uncommon in many cases. Number two, fighting against corruption is a common sense, but the government itself doing corruption. So, common sense is absent here. These are the few examples, but in practical, we are doing and facing more than that. If we apply common sense regularly, the world would be more beautiful. More and more people seem to not think before they do or say something. Maybe most of us just need to slow down and take a look at our lives and not be in such a rush, and common sense may come back. Having common sense can carry you along the way throughout your life. However, it doesn't matter if your garden is missing a few flowers and some flowers grow in others. We all have beautiful gardens that are unique. That's what makes them special. But the important point is this, that the flower of common sense brightens one's life. As Robert G. Ingersoll said, it is 1,000 times better to have common sense without education than to have education without common sense. Let me end up by saying that common sense is a challenge because if you have common sense, you have to deal with everyone who doesn't have it. So be careful, friends. Thank you.
Thank you for participating so effectively. Next in line, we have Abdullah bin Shoaib of 9B.
Principal, teachers, and fellow students, warmest greetings. Everyone in his own self is born an expert, as it is an attribute of the Creator that He didn't create a single thing without a purpose. What's necessary is to identify this expertise in our own selves. In this short lifespan, we need to make tough, influential decisions with accordance to our needs, standards, and personality. So no need to panic. Foster self-reliance instead, because it takes a person to skies of humanity. Chatting with our own selves after listening to all available sources brings your brain to work more efficiently, organize thoughts, get closer in achieving your goals, relieving stress, and developing self-reliance. Chatting with oneself requires wisdom, and Almighty blessed this wisdom to mankind for the same purpose. Allah states in the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse number 269. He grants the wisdom to whom He wills, and whoever is granted the wisdom, then certainly he is granted good abundant. And none remembers except those of understanding. What's essential in doing this is to keep the pros and cons of all aspects in your subject in atmosphere. The outcome of such algorithm should be determined in your own self, with dedicated reasons supporting your point to a level that none even advice is able to alter your thoughts. Instead, you are passively able to counter or silence them. The brightest quality of the world's most influential personalities is seen in talking to oneself. Swami Vivekananda, an Indian monk and chief disciple of Ramakrishna in 19th century, once said, "Talk to yourself at least once in a day, otherwise you may miss a meeting with an excellent person in this world." So next time you need expert advice, remember to take opinion from the rational which dwells in your own self. This is Abdullah bin Shoaib talking out.
Thank you for your enlightening speech. Our next participant is Zayan Asim Abbasi of 9S. Sure.
Hello everyone, this is Yana Simbasi of class 9X and I feel honored to discuss the topic that limit alternatives to make your choices easier. The society in which we currently exist is more like a stereotype, which implies that people are more judgmental than even before. This is not just one mind, but believe me, this is an whole ideology which has stressed out people's life completely. For instance, to buy a new outfit, people spend hours and hours in shopping malls. The choices have dramatically changed according to the society. We take judgment into more consideration compared to our own individual happiness. Taking an example, in family gatherings, people stress out deciding dishes and arrangements for the guests, seeking perfection desperately in their events. As a result of this, they just stress out for no reason. My fellows' gatherings can be organized with limited quality food and arrangements. In addition to this, most of the writers had one type of outfits in their closets, so they didn't have to waste their time in morning choosing what to wear and what not. And this way, they were able to save their valuable time and make it productive. Alternative choices takes our happiness away. I hope that most of you will agree with me on this that happiness is the only thing one should take in consideration. Instead, alternatives result in stress, which results in contagious diseases like high blood pressure. Alongside, it's just a waste of energy, which reduces your efficiency in more significant tasks and thus affects your output. In conclusion, people should start caring about themselves more than what people will think about them and try to stay happy with the decisions they have made. And last but not the least, they should limit their choices for everything and be confident about their decisions. Prioritize yourself, make it easy for yourself, limit your choices. Thank you.
What an enthralling speech that was. Farjad of 9E is now going to take the honors of delivering his speech.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. My name is Fajat Person and I'm from class 9E. And my topic for today is life, my life before Facebook. There was a time when sending a misbehaving youngster off to their bedroom was used as a punishment. It was supposed to make them feel both isolated and excluded. It was an admonishment to sit alone and reflect on their wrongdoings. But for today's adolescents, staying by themselves in their room is never a matter of being isolated or does it feel hardly a punishment. But physical surroundings are meaningless to our teenagers because now they're always in constant touch with their peers and the world beyond through their ubiquitous devices. They will only emerge for meals and necessary sustenance, but they would generally prefer to be locked away using technology to interact with others and near far. Today's teenagers only want to sit alone in their rooms, staring at screens, playing games, messaging late into the night, and sharing their YouTube clips to their friends and playing games. Thank you.
Our next participant is Abdul Salam of 9W.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Salam and I'm from class 9W. The topic I have elected is sometimes when you need expert advice, you should have a chat with yourself. Bad advice will instruct you. Excellent advice will enlighten you. And transcendent advice will elevate you. This is the importance of advice. Bad advice is destructive and very dangerous. It can cause many twists and turns in one's life. It can cause one to make decisions that are not healthy and unproductive. On the other hand, good advice is like charity given to the right person at the right time. Think about your own life. How many times has getting good advice saved you from making wrong decisions? For me, this has happened several times. Sometimes, however, there are certain situations and decisions that no one can advise you better than you yourself. This is because there are certain situations in your life which you have complete knowledge of. And so, in situations like this, you must consult with yourself first. Consulting with yourself regarding such situations helps eradicate any bias from external parties. One way to have a chat with yourself is also through meditation. There are many people who choose this path. A notable example is our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who used to meditate in cave Hira in order to understand the moral quandaries that he faced during before prophethood. There are also certain situations where we have to be at the forefront and look within ourselves for answers as per our morality and our ethics. So, therefore, I believe that sometimes when you need expert advice, we simply need to have a chat with ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you for your interesting and informative declamation. The next the next participant from grade 9 is Ammar Hassan of 9O.
Before Facebook, I had a life. When I use the term Facebook, it's not just limited to it. I would rather say that all the social media apps have ruined our lives in a way that they have taken away our practical approach and have reduced our brain power. Secondly, these social media apps have taken away our culture from us. They had imposed third person culture on us and have snatched our traditional cultures from us. Moreover, the religious values are not being followed as they had to be. Facebook has taken the religion of people away and kept them busy in social activities. Also, because of these social apps, people avoid to go for social gathering and they have assumed that Facebook is the best place where one can spend social time, meet their fellows, families, and all. Social media has limited us to internet. As a result, the household chores and the time which we have to spend with our family is greatly reduced due to this social media. Thank you.
What a masterpiece that was. Next, the last participant is Ibrahim Kari of 9O. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Ibrahim Kari. So today I'll be talking on the fact that before Facebook I had a life. All social media networks have their pros and cons, including Facebook itself. These networks have changed our lives in several ways. Think about it. These days everyone is so indulged in Facebook and other social media apps that they have forgot how to live a normal life. Facebook has captivated our minds and we are enthralled by it. The first thing we do after waking up is checking our notifications. These apps are great for communication, but fake friends is another con. Before all of this, we made friends in real life after getting to know their lifestyle. Before Facebook, we had a lot of time to relax and spend time to spend with family. We had time to value and appreciate relationships. Before Facebook, we had privacy and didn't spend days. Everyone is connected at all times. We have access to the entire network, but I sure do miss the old days. In short, before Facebook, I had a life. We all had a life. So now we have our next class, that is grade 10. The next participant is Imadullah Siddiqui, again of 10E.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hanging out with a 3-year-old may sound absurd and childish, but the fact is that it might be the best thing which can happen to a person in many years. The truth we cannot hide ourselves from is that we have seen how the world is and what laws we have to abide to keep cool and calm. And a 3-year-old? No, sir. He does not play by the rules, but still is positive, and neither does he believe in the popular caption trying to get out of reality. He enjoys it. A 3-year-old does not see the world as it is. If he does not like the presence of a person, he is a straightforward child who denies to stay around him, which his grown people find impolite to do. But we can still do the right thing, avoid him, and make our lives easier. A 3-year-old has the perfect cure to achieve a good day: smiling. He smiles 37 times on an average day, whether he is being annoyed, fooled, or betrayed. Due to his happiness, sometimes people go crazy because they have forgotten the basic necessity not to survive life, but to enjoy it. Happiness. Though he is a young trainee in the concepts of the world, though he does not have enough experience, he is not afraid to try new things like most people because he is not aware of fear. And sometimes losing a fear when you know it, it's important to make things right, to achieve your goals, and to exclaim in the future in front of the whole world that I was not afraid in my own life, which is why I conquered it. I made that possible and I did that. Sometimes making I or yourself ready is the most important thing in life to do. And for that, I will appreciate that single 3-year-old kid who once again, after all these years, showed me the same person, which not me, but maybe all of us were a long time back. Thank you.
We thank you for sharing your speech with us. Next, we have Munib Kadri of 10E, 10T.
Dear ma'am, respected teachers and judges, my today's topic of speech is common sense is like a flower that does not grow in everyone's garden. Our common sense is what gives us a basic understanding of ourselves as an individual and the community of people that we live around and the earth we share with them. Common sense is something that is developed through our experiences we share living in this world and which in the end develops a mutual understanding of ourselves and the world we live in. Let me put it this way. Unfortunately, the common sense is not always applied on every individual, as there are several individual personalities who don't share the same sense that we know as common. They're either completely lack of any experience or any mutual understanding of this world, and any sort of experience and understanding of this world and themselves is built upon self-consensus developed by themselves, or to put in short terms, lies developed by their brains. Their ideologies are often completely hypocritical or out of the question by the normal human brain. In my opinion, the categories of common sense vary in different mindsets according to their skills and capabilities. The matter of fact is we cannot consider everyone's mental strength equal. We as individuals must be aware of others' perspectives and must be open to them and treat them as such. So in the end, our common sense is like a flower that does not grow in every garden.
Sajjad Raza Mehdi of 10S is going to follow next.
Respected principal, dear teachers and fellow students, Assalamu alaikum. The topic about which I'm going to speak today is, in order to understand what life is all about, hang out with a 3-year-old. Angelo Schwint once said, and I quote, "While we try to teach children all about life, our children teach us what life is all about." Unquote. Many of us don't realize the difference between life and existence. As a toddler, we used to live, but as we grow up, our perceptions change. We start worrying about unimportant stuff too often. We start to overthink, we take stress now and again. It becomes difficult to move on. We become less curious and more nonchalant. Failure is not considered an option anymore, and risks turn into apparently inevitable dangers. We become more attracted towards luxuries and wealth. We start measuring the importance of the beautiful things in life by their price. We get so busy in worldly affairs that we lose the meaning of life, the essence of living, until we merely exist. To try to understand the meaning of life, try spending time with the 3-year-old. Give attention to the tiny details of each and everything that the toddler does, how they react when things don't turn the way they expect. It really doesn't matter where you take your young friend because they will always find a way to entertain themselves. Try taking a 3-year-old on a walk. Let them run ahead of you. Watch how they rise every time they fall, with the most beautiful smile on their face. That, my friends, is what life is all about. Making mistakes, falling down, picking yourself up, dusting off, and moving on. A 3-year-old will keep running even if they're not aware of the destination. And that is what life is about. Moving on, always. And even if you don't know where you'll end up, it's always going to pay off. Observe how a 3-year-old loves to build miniatures out of building blocks or building sandcastles at the beach. Once they get tired, they'll destroy them and make new ones. And that is what life is about, again. Constantly changing and making improvement a permanent part of your life. Ask a 3-year-old what they want for their birthday present, and I doubt they'll ask for a BMW or something like that, because their wishes are small and they celebrate nonetheless. That is what life is about. keeping low expectations so that you don't get disappointed, cherishing the smallest things in life that we tend to overlook, and being grateful for whatever we have. Life is about friendship, love, family, trust, faith, and the little things that bring the biggest miracles into our lives. Miley once said, and I quote, "Life is all about having a good time," unquote. And what time is better than childhood? Thank you.
Next, we have Basil of 10E again.
Respected principals, honorable teachers, and my dear fellows. Assalamu alaikum. Life without Facebook. Could you imagine it? I don't think so. But if we, then it's look like a cup of tea without sugar, a brand new car without fuel, and a brand new TV without colors. Dear fellows, before social media, life was fascinating. Our life was filled with things you can hear, feel, touch, and see. People talk to each other in person. It is still shocking to me that people are so plugged into a virtual reality that they even don't know what is happening in their own house. Facebook is getting a higher place in our life. Before Facebook, people used to talk face to face with each other. Whole families gathered together to share their feelings. People sent gifts and presents to each other. But nowadays, just a person posts a pic and we pass out a single comment, that's it. No one knows what is happening in the heart of that person. Before Facebook, people go for picnics, lunch parties with their friends. But now they just pick up their phones, start a video chat, and that's all. Before Facebook, people do physical activities to make their faces shine. But now they use filters to make their faces shine. Dear fellows, there was a life before Facebook, and I wish I could go back. And I would like to end my speech with a quote: don't use social media to impress people, use it to impact people. Thank you.
Thank you for your stimulating speech. Next, we have some news with it.
Assalamu alaikum. Respected principal, teachers, and fellow students, the topic of my speech is Be Happy, It Drives Others Crazy. We all have points in our life where life becomes difficult, times when everything goes wrong. How you choose to look at these times has everything to do with how you look at your life. If you learn to look at the good in your life, you will be able to have a much happier life than those who focus on the negative. Once you learn to focus on the good blessings in your life, you will be happy most of the time. People might see you happy and get frustrated. They might even try to disrupt your happiness. Remember, your happiness depends on you and no one else. In other words, this can also be called self-independence or relying on ourselves only. Once we learn how to keep ourselves happy, then only we can achieve success in our life. Otherwise, we will just sit at a point in our lives and urge others to be happy for us. Happy people often hear terms of being extremely antisocial or self-centered. This is because they concern themselves and their happiness only. I would like to end my speech with a quote: when all else fails, just be happy, it drives others crazy. Thank you.
Our last contestant from grade 9 is Hassan Siddiqui from 9T.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum. This is Hassan of class 19, and today I am here to deliver a short brief on sometimes a great piece of accomplishment is just quiet. Silence is a weapon that can be used by anybody without causing harm to the other person. It has the potential to avoid many problems which can greatly prevent the problem. Someone has quoted very wisely that the tree of silence can bear the fruit of peace. George Gibbon said that silence is one of the hardest arguments to defuse. So my dear fellow students and teachers, what is silence? One of the requirements of this spiritual life is to learn the value of silence. Silence is to conserve the spiritual energy, as one of the main avenues through which it goes to waste is through empty sounds and vain speech. Why is silence important and why we cannot ignore it? So, sometimes silence is the best response. It is in a domestic quarrel or otherwise. Sometimes we can just be quiet and the situation will resolve by itself. Instead of condemning or reprimanding which one withdraws his silence, we can turn the table. And through our silence, we can save someone's life. Uh, there's a quote by a Spanish writer which clarifies the definition of silence. That opening a mouth only is what you are going to say is more beautiful than silence. So this quote clarifies the definition of
Thank you for delivering your speech. It was a privilege to listen to you. To end this segment, we would like to welcome Awais Ali of 10N to deliver a novel.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Yes.
مولا مولا जहाँ भी देखूं तेरा निशान है मेरा भी दिल में तेरी अज़ा है तू ही अहद है तू ही है वाहिद तू ही है मख्फी तू ही जली है ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका के बात अब तक बनी हुई है ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका किसी का एहसान क्यों उठाए किसी को हालात क्यों बताए तुम ही से मांगेंगे तुम ही दोगे तुम्हारे दर से लौ लगी है ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका के बात अब तक बनी हुई है ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका ये सब तुम्हारा करम है आका
Subhanallah, that was a truly mesmerizing novel.
Sadaqallahu al-Azim. We come to the last category of the declamation, that is grade 11. Our first contestant is Ali Ghazi of 11C.
Believing in yourself and trusting your own decisions is the first step towards your success. Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ali Ghazi and the topic of my speech is that sometimes when you need expert advice, you should just have a chat with yourself. Self-talk is what happens when you make yourself the target of your own comments, advice, or reminders. And experts think of this as an act of mental exercise. You should always hear to what others have to say, but the best advice will always initiate from your own heart. The only person who can understand your problems is yourself, because everyone else has a different perspective to the same scenario. And the solution or advice you can produce yourself is the best of all. Believing in yourself is so important because this is when you recognize your ability to accomplish any goals. And deep down inside you know that you can do anything or be anyone. You just have to provoke yourself to wake up and be optimistic about the future as you set goals and set ways to achieve them. The first step to any successful journey is to trust yourself because when you do, you build up self confidence. Whatever you want to achieve, there will be a countless barriers questioning your competences, and the only way to pass through them is by being confident enough that you can and you will. After gaining confidence, you inspire yourself to take action and form a positive attitude required to succeed. Then you realize that your failure is just a temporary part of your long journey ahead. And finally, you let the negative thoughts fade away and you succeed. As a wise man once said, if you want to achieve greatness, then stop asking permissions and take the initiative yourself. Thank you.
Thank you for your enlightening speech. Up next is Danial Faraz of 11C.
Assalamu alaikum, principal, teachers, and my friends. The topic is, which I am going to share my thoughts on, is with a reference to the latest article, a flourishing community. A good community is the one in which people interact with each other and help one another out of their difficulties. But how can people help each other? Today I'm going to highlight some of. To start with, let's consider the difficulties people face in their daily lives. Some may be financial problems, while some people, like travelers, may face trouble on their road. The poor and needy children who does not have access to education and other necessities, so we need to consider that. These people can be helped out in numerous ways, but it is much better if we do it secretly. This can be done by putting necessary items like food items on the doorstep of the deserving people's houses. We can also educate poor children too, who are deprived of this basic privilege. Sadly, nowadays, instead of getting help, these people are usually ignored or remain unnoticed, which is not good for the health of our society. It would more and more people could be helpful and watch out for their fellow beings who are in distress. So, my dear listeners, we must stop this futility in order to achieve something for the benefit of mankind in this holy month of Ramzan. Thank you.
Our next participant is Ali Masood of 11N.
Alaykum salam.
Assalamu alaikum everyone and good afternoon. My name is Ali Masood and my topic is before Facebook I had a life. There are many ongoing arguments nowadays about the world's most popular social media site, Facebook. I am strongly against this modern day addiction as it has ruined teenagers' lives, yet we do not stop using it because it is a virtual drug. Just think about it. Have any of us even spent a day in our lives without checking our Facebook? Before Facebook, I remained relaxed in my free time instead of worrying about checking the latest posts. I valued being a useful and appreciated citizen of my community instead of wasting time and money for virtual likes. And most importantly, I took photos of the moment instead of creating the moment for the photo. Facebook has taken us away from real life and has brought us closer towards spinning toys and kicking water bottles. And that's why I believe it's fair to say that we are now physically alive, but mentally and spiritually dead, thanks to Facebook. Thank you all very much and have a very nice day. And try to do it without Facebook for once.
What a masterpiece that was. Mudassir of 11N is now going to take the honors of delivering his speech.
Assalamu alaikum. Referring to Facebook as social media, it is really just terminology developed to describe the current stage of the internet. What's really being asked here is whether or not life was better before or pre-internet. And like most things, the real answer is well, that depends. That depends whether or not you make a strong correlation between connectivity and happiness, because there are pros and cons to everything. Saying that I used to play outside as a kid is a drastic understatement. Me and my friends basically live in a woods around our collective neighborhood, exploring climbing trees, playing sports, and cutting past to one another's houses. Were those happy times? Absolutely, they were the best. Now I spend a lot of time online and meeting and communicating with others, as well as friends I grew up with. Is my life any better or worse? That also depends. It might be a little worse in the sense that I am an adult now. As a kid, you simply don't have as many worries. But even playing outside has taken on completely new meaning for me. Now I live in Colorado, where I can routinely take a break from everything, not just technology, drive out into the mountains and hike or sightsee or just relax. Whether or not social media was invented has nothing to do with my level of happiness. As we grew older, different things matters to us. When I look at my parents who never actually adopted social media, neither of them even has Facebook, I don't see people who are more or less happy than I am for any specific reason. They just live in a different style of lifestyle. They stayed in the Western Pennsylvania town where I grew up, so they just live and operate in the more localized bubble, consuming bad news through more traditional channels. Even before people experience their life through their phones, they spend more of their time doing other things like reading newspaper, writing and mailing letters, listening to radio or watching TV. All social media was really did was give people different ways to consume media and communicate.
As society continues to adopt to this shift, there will still be plenty of pros and cons to everything we do. But there were pros and cons to playing inwards as a kid and not having a cell phone too. I fall down a hill and break my arm today. At least now I will be able to tweet about it. I'm just kidding, but not really. At any rate, I wouldn't say life is any better or worse today than it was then. It's just different, and that's okay. Thanks.
Our next participant is Alishan Amir of 11T.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all of you over here. And I'm Alisha Namer from 11th. So my topic of declamation contest is sometimes when you need an expert advice, you should just have a chat with yourself. So let's begin. Whenever the human brain needs to have a really abrupt decision, the incoming reflexes bound him or her to rush the situation or to talk to yourself. Talking to yourself is considered to be a psychological disorder in the I've studied before. It means it's not respected in a society. But according to experts and psychologists, it's considered to have an excellent mental health. Here is a lucid example of taking a blood decision by just talking to yourself and measuring the thoughts in your brain. You could be doing something as mundane as turning as left at an intersection during rush hour or looking for your keys on a hectic morning, or you would be preparing a potentially pivotal event, such as a meeting with a boss, an outline class, an online class, a big presentation, or a promising first date. And these days, people talk to themselves, and due to that, a professor in New York, Dr. Jessica Nicolosi, she says, talking to yourself is completely within the normal boundaries. In fact, we talk to ourselves constantly, says Dr. Jessica Nicolosi of New York. And most people engage in self-talk. Experts say there's some do it louder and more often than others. Like some people talk to themselves in their hearts, and some people they talk louder, like they use their vanity spaces, their bedroom, their basements of the houses, or at their crucibles at work, like those employees which are like they feel other failure in the companies or have want to discuss something about the shit they can't discuss with social media. They would be like with social media. So basically, they talk to themselves, and talking to yourself is considered good mental health. And a person makes himself or herself the target of your own comments and confabulations. Advice or reminders, experts consider it as a subset of thinking. You yourself is the best mirror of your ability. Our teachers say us that when you prepare for exams, you yourself is the best mirror of your abilities. So this is for right now, this is my declaration. The topic is when you need an expert advice, you need to just have a chat with yourself. And I want to add more content in that doing this habit, you can be a better organizer. So, and do this talking to yourself basically it basically makes you a better organizer and a better thinker, and you're basically captured in your own population.
The next participant is Zishan Alam of 11N.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I hope you are having a great Ramadan. My name is Ishan Alam Khan, and my topic of declamation today is sometimes our greatest accomplishment is to just keep quiet. I would start my declamation with a hadith of our beloved Holy Prophet. Holy Prophet said, "Speak good or remain silent." Now, we need to understand the fact that negative thoughts come into everyone's mind. The key is not to verbalize them, because the words that come out of our mind have immense strength. Spoken in a positive way can increase our reputation. However, if we choose the negative side, it will leave us with nothing but regret. Hence, it is advised to keep quiet or speak good or speak positive. Now, I'm going to list some social issues, some problems. First of all is insults. Insults, why do we insult each other? We insult just because we want to feel good, or we want people to laugh, we want people to consider that we are hilarious, or for example, why do we bully? Bully? What? For example, I am talking about someone. Why does he bully? Because he wants to consider himself as superior. He wants to show verbal bullying is simply showing he is superior. And the third thing is anger. When we are angry, we say words that are uncontrollable, that we can't control. However, they leave us with regret in the end. Now, we see a lot of problems are resulting from us negatively using our power to speak. So, we need to understand to keep quiet. How can we do that? For example, if we are angry, we need to sit down, drink a glass of water. If we are going to bully or insult someone, we need to understand that we can also be in a position at some time onwards. So we need to keep quiet. We need to think 1,000 times before saying something. And if it is even slightly negative, we need to keep quiet because your words, when spoken with passion, belief, and faith, will become your reality. However, if on the negative side, they can completely destroy you. So speak good or just keep your mouth shut. Thank you.
We next have Ahmed Bernie of 11T who is going to speak on his topic.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. I hope my voice is audible to you all.
Yes.
Okay. My topic of declamation is sometimes our greatest accomplishment is to just keep quiet. And yeah, it's pretty ironic that for the next 3 minutes I'll be doing everything except keeping quiet. But that's the thing about words, They can create, inspire, protect, and harm. You can accomplish anything with words, yet you can lose everything with words. But sometimes all a person needs is silence. Silence so they can collect their thoughts and express their emotions in a safe space. I remember a few months back, I lost one of my friends in a car accident. To be honest, I wasn't as close to him as a friend of mine was, and upon his death, my friend was depressed and overcome with emotions. I remember we were sitting in class and tears rolled down his eyes. He rested his head on my shoulder and recalled memories he had with him. The time he had spent with him was precious and special, and I decided to let him tell the stories without interrupting him. That day, I may not have given any comforting words or shown hope for the future, but what I did was provide a trusty ear to listen and silence to let his grief flow. Similarly, people might need to talk about something they're upset about, so quietness from your side would give them a way to vent their anger and just possibly come up with a solution. They might see the problem more clearly as they clarify their point of view with words coming from their own mouth while you just sit there listening attentively and quietly. And sometimes, in anger, people just need to be heard. They don't want to be preached because when you're angry, actually, it's more about emotions than the problem itself. Counter arguments can make them feel as if their opinion isn't valid, as if it isn't important. So silence may not free nations or voice rights of the oppressed. It may not create art or amplify the good in things. But silence builds relations, trust, and most importantly, attentive silence can heal an upset heart. Also, if you guys weren't quiet, I wouldn't be able to accomplish a great speech. So that's it from my side. Please like, share, and subscribe. On notification bell को click करना नहीं भूलना. Thank you very much.
The last participant is Shahriyar of 11E.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Shahriyar Sheikh of class 11E. We'll be talking on the topic, just be happy, it drives people crazy. Does it bother you to be around happy people? I hope not. Unfortunately, there are many people who are very unhappy in their lives. Many of these individuals try and disrupt the happiness of others just because their lives are seemingly miserable. These people don't understand how to be happy. They believe their happiness is beyond their control. There isn't anything that can bring true happiness and joy into your life. Certainly, there are things that are fun and even things that will make you happy when you receive them, but true happiness and joy come from within. We must decide to be happy. Happiness is a choice, not a result of something. True happiness doesn't come from having lots of money, the right friends, the right job, or anything else. Although having these things would be great, right? You must decide to be happy. Can it really be this simple? Yes, it is. We all have points in our lives where life becomes difficult. Times when everything goes wrong. How you choose to look at these times has everything to do with how you look at your life. If you learn to look at the good in your life, you will be able to have a much happier life than those who focus on negative. Once you focus on the good blessings in your life, you will be happy most of the time. People might see you happy and get frustrated. They might even try to disturb your happiness. Remember, your happiness depends on you, no one else. Other people can influence your happiness, but only when you choose to let them. When all these fails, just be happy. It drives people crazy. Thank you.
With this, we come to the end of the declamation contest. While the results are being finalized, I would request our principal, Ma'am Fatma Haris, to say some words.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. You are so marvelous, each one of you. I am so proud of you. You deserve a full standing ovation from all of us here. We were in school today, your heads, Miss Ambreen, Miss Malia, myself, and though I was not fully tuned into you, but the glimpses and the sound effects which I found, it was amazing. I'm going to listen to the recording. Well done, bravo, super. Good going, teachers. I'm so proud of each one of you who actually thought about it. Shahrukh for actually leading them on. Miss Afreen, Miss Henna, Miss Shiza. I hope I've not left anybody's name, Miss Tomara. Every one of you has been a great support. Lareb, yes, I can never forget you. Your boy Ibrahim and Abdul Salam both have hosted beautifully. I think we next time should be able to have a video declamation instead of an audio one. I wanted to see each one of you. Next time, inshallah, soon. Even the Urdu people, I think, are there logged in. They are watching and waiting perhaps for an Urdu competition. What do you say, Ms. Ruqayya and Aziza? I found them here in the group. Well done to the team. Very proud of you, boys. Stay blessed.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned. Yes, Shahrukh, thank you so much for going ahead with it. It was a very, very busy day today. But Alhamdulillah, you all did a fabulous job. Wonderful. It's good to see the participation also. You all made me very happy. Not at all tired. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Good luck to you all and lots of greetings from all of us to you and your parents.
Thank you, ma'am. You are always so motivating. Now, Awais Ali of 10N would be presenting a beautiful naat.
इलाही तेरी चौखट पर भिखारी बन के आया हूँ सरापा फक्र हूँ इज्जो नदामत साथ लाया हूँ भिखारी वो है जिसके पास झोली है ना प्याला है भिखारी वो जिसे फिर सो हवस ने मार डाला है मताए दीनो दानिश नफ्स के हाथों से लुटवा कर सकूने कल्ब की दौलत हवस की बैठ चरवा कर लुटा कर सारी पूंजी गफलतों सिया के दल दल में सहारा लेने आया हूँ तेरे काबे के आंचल में गुनाहों की लिपट से कायनाते कल्ब अफसुरदा इरादे मुजमहिल हिम्मत शिकस्ता हौसले मुर्दा कहाँ से लाऊं ताकत दिल की सच्ची तर्जुमानी की के इस जंजाल में गुजरी है घड़ियां जिंदगानी की इलाही तेरी चौखट पर भिखारी बन के आया हूँ सराबा फक्र हूँ इज्जो नदामत साथ लाया हूँ
Subhanallah and MashaAllah. I would now request the judges to please announce the results.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the senior English faculty for inviting me to judge this competition. I'm really honored. And I must say, I'm very impressed by the quality of speeches I heard today. The students are very confident and fluent. However, some of the students did not take care of the intonation. That is very important. A rise and fall of the voice level. Okay, now I will be sharing the results. Ms. Fatma, with your permission, can I share the results?
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. All right, for grade 9, the first position goes to Abdullah bin Shuaib. The second position goes to Abdus Salam of 9W. And third position, Muhammad Bais of 9T. Congratulations, boys, for class 10. Fazil got the first position. Then Sajjad of 10S got the second position. And Munib of 10E got the third position. Congratulations. For grade 11, it was a really tough competition, I must say. MashaAllah, all the students are really very confident, fluent. For grade 11, the first position goes to Ali Ghazi of 8C, Ali Masood of 11M, Ahmad Badi of 11T. Congratulations. Thank you once again for making me the part of this competition, Ms. Afreen Saisharo.
Thank you, everyone. It's good to see your children grown up.
Yes, ma'am. Really proud of them. The way they were speaking, I am really impressed.
I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful to everyone, I should say, Miss Afreen, definitely Miss Hina, Miss Shiza, the entire English faculty, the way all of us, all of you actually coordinated, and the way actually it has been put up, I really appreciate. And just through the coordinated efforts of the entire English faculty, it has been definitely possible today. And thank you very much, Ma'am Fatma, for joining us here, for joining this event. And I believe that this must have been a wonderful event, I should say that. Thank you.
No doubt, sir. It was a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Milestones can be made anywhere, anytime. and we have developed one such in organizing competitions online. Our connection with the school through online has not for a moment allowed us to fall back, and when we join back to the bubbling world, back to routine, back to independence, when we open the doors of the now closed world tomorrow, we sure will make history, exemplify to the world that there came a generation who was bowed under calamity, and fought it optimistically, and returned back, smiling, shining, lively, and ever before. Till we meet again, stay home and stay safe and stay blessed. I thank you all on behalf of GCA for gracing the event with your pleasing presence. It's really encouraging and overwhelming for our wee efforts. It has shoot up our morale. So with kind greetings and well wishes being sent your way, this is Ibrahim Khairi and Abdul Salam signing off. Allah Hafiz.